Hello there beautiful people, my name is Lucas, I'm from Brazil. Welcome back to Adult Film. The Oscars are right here, and the Oscars are my favorite time of year because I love films and I love to see films being awarded for their brilliance and how they move us and connect with us. So I have to be honest, despite the Oscars being my favorite time of year, this time I'm very much not that excited because I think it's going to be the most predictable and boring Oscars in quite some time. But let's do this. I'm gonna talk who I think should win and deserves to win, but who will win at the Oscars. So let's do it. Let's start with Best Supporting Actor. I think is the easiest category of the night, and it's Daniel Kaluuya. He should win and he will win and he deserves it. He gave the second best performance of the whole season. He swept all the precursors and he gave such a transformative and powerful and moving performance. He embodies perfectly what that film is all about. Let's move on to Supporting Actress. I think this was a race that was more open a few months ago, but with the recent win for Yoon Jung in the BAFTA and the SAG, I think the tide has shifted, and I think she is one of the biggest reasons why that film works and how it moves and connects so deeply with people. She's so adorable and at the same time she's so infuriating. So you get mad with her, but you get attached with her and make you want to have her as your grandma. And I think she deserves it to win, and she will win. Original Screenplay, I think is between The Trial of Chicago 7 and Promising Young Woman. Who I think should win is Minari. Who will win is Promising Young Woman. But I love Promising Young Woman. I have the poster behind me because I love the film. But I think Minari stands out as such a beautiful and relatable story, so brilliantly written, and you connect so deeply with the characters because they are so well developed, so they feel so real, so you connect with them, you understand them, you cheer for them and you get scared for them. So that's a really well written story, not taking anything away from Promising Young Woman. It's such a brilliant screenplay. Cassie is such a well-developed and so deep character with so many layers, and the fact that Carey Mulligan's performance is so brilliant is because of Emerald Fennell's brilliant writing. There's a chance of A Trial of Chicago 7 winning because it's Aaron Sorkin. He's a brilliant screenwriter and he has a lot of respect inside the Academy for his screenwriting. So there's a chance of him winning, but with the WGA win and the BAFTA win, I think the momentum is behind Promising Young Woman. Now let's talk about adapted screenplay. Who I think should win? The Father. Who I think is going to win? The Father. Listen, I know there's a lot of people predicting Nomadland, and I understand that because it's the film that has been a wrecking ball through the award season, has been sweeping everywhere. But I think the Oscars is going to have some sense and see that's more a visual storytelling film than a actual story written. I think The Father has such a brilliant screenplay that the film only works because the screenplay is so well written and puts you inside his shoes and his head. It makes you understand and live his dementia. You go through with him while his mind is falling apart because the screenplay puts you in that position. The biggest problem with Nomadland is the story, and the fact that the story makes the character so thin, especially Fern. Most of the time she looks like a a robot. She doesn't look like a real person, and doesn't look like the story is going anywhere. So I think Nomadland, despite being so beautiful and poetic, I think has a huge problem with story. So I think The Father deserves that award. Let's move on to Best Director. Who should win? David Fincher. I think, hear me out. Mank is brilliant. I don't understand the hate and the abuse that the film has been getting. I think Fincher did a great job of making a film that talks about a subject that was important to him, and talking about screenwriting and credits and fighting for the credits, and at the same time paying homage to the films of the 40s and the story of cinema and Citizen Kane. I think most people were expecting a film that was more like Citizen Kane, but it's so brilliant, the direction of David Fincher. He shows how he is a perfectionist and how every scene, every detail is put by hand by him. His directing is what stands out the most between the 5 nominees, but if Chloe Zhao is going to win, let's move on. Let's move on to Best Cinematography. It's something that I love deeply, and I think who should win is Mank, and who will win is Nomadland. I think Mank should win because I think it's the cinematography that most complements the film, because it's a film in the 40s, and the film that is a cinematography that transports you back to that time. That Mank was a film that was filmed in 8K, but was compressed to look like a film shooted back then, and the cinematography is so beautiful, and people don't realize how difficult it is to shoot in black and white, and how much you have to do for the image don't look bland and without contrast and too much shadow. So there's a lot of work going for making a black and white film look so beautiful and immersive, and I think the cinematography of Mank complements the film better. And with Nomadland, it's too much shots of beautiful landscapes, the sunset, the river, and I think the cinematography in Nomadland is used to fill holes in the story, in the narrative. So I think doesn't complement the film as well as it does in Mank. It actually is used to fill holes in the story. So I don't think because of that it deserves it. And I think the cinematography for Mank is way more harder and difficult to make, and the result is way more beautiful and powerful for the film than you shooting the huge sunset. That's beautiful, that's poetic, but doesn't actually complement the film as well as a cinematography that actually makes the film look what it's supposed to look. Best actor, who I think he should win is Anthony Hopkins. Who I think he will win is Anthony Hopkins. Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away, and a lot of people want to recognize him for his career and his brilliant work in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. But I think the Oscars will want to recognize Anthony Hopkins because he's the well-known actor, he's the most respected actor, and he has the body of work to go behind him. And I think the Oscar doesn't have a history of awarding posthumous awards. They gave 2 in all their history, and I think the lack of nominations from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom shows how people didn't actually love that film that much. So I think the fact that Anthony Hopkins won the BAFTA shows that there's doubt, and I think the fact that he is so respected, he is one of the best actors of all time in most people's mind. So I think he's going to get that respect of most voters that will push him for the win. And I think Chadwick has been honored with those wins. I think he did a brilliant job with his character. To me, looks too much of a play, but it's not his fault. Is the film, is the director and the screenplay that makes the character look like that. But he knew it was his last performance, so he gave it all. So it's nice to see that he was recognized. But in the Oscar, I think Anthony Hopkins will prevail. Best actress, if there's a chance of any category being crazy and with a surprise win, is best actress, because who is going to win? No one knows. We assume that's between Frances McDormand and Carey Mulligan, because they both been the front runners all through the season, but Viola Davis won the SAG, Carey Mulligan won the Critics' Choice, Frances McDormand won the BAFTA, Andra Day won the Golden Globe. So who's going to win? But I still think it's between Frances McDormand and Carey Mulligan. And who should win? Carey Mulligan. Who will win? Carey Mulligan. Because she's long overdue, and she should have won for An Education, I think 2009, and yeah, I think she's long overdue, and I don't think the Oscars will want to give Frances McDormand her third Oscar so soon. They had this stupid thinking that you shouldn't win Oscars so soon, and that's why there's so many people long overdue. And sometimes you see actors like Leonardo DiCaprio winning the Oscar for not one of his best performances. So that's what the Oscars usually does. So that's why I'm thinking like this. I think the Oscar will think that Frances McDormand has already won two Oscars, and Carey Mulligan is long overdue, so she's going to win. And Carey Mulligan is the reason why Promising Young Woman works, and why the film is so well loved, and despite being so controversial, has connected and amazed so many people because of Carey Mulligan and Emerald Fennell brilliant writing. Let's move on to the big one, Best Picture, and I think it's Nomadland. Why I'm gonna waste my time talking about, I don't know, but I'll try to make my case for Minari. Minari should win, but it's not going to win. And I expect some surprise because of the preferential ballot. I don't see, honestly, I don't see Nomadland getting so many top 3 votes to actually win. I don't see that film connecting with the large voting body of the Oscars. So I think there will be a lot of people bored by Nomadland, but at this point it's hard to predict against Nomadland. That's why I'm giving up and saying that Nomadland is going to win. It's not my favorite film of the nominees. If I have to rank all of them, will be 7th or 8th. It's not my favorite film. It has a huge problem with story. The screenplay lacks story, and I think it's too much visual storytelling, very few story, and the lead character that you should care about and root for, you most of the time don't understand her and don't care for her because she looks like a ghost. So it's beautiful, it's poetic, but there's a huge problem with the story that I can't get over. And I think Minari is the most beautiful film of all of them. I think it's the film that most people have connected. It's the most human story of all of them. I think you understand that family, you feel that their struggle, you go through their ups and downs, and you feel so attached to them despite they being Korean people, and we with all our own nationalities, we can understand. Despite being that difference of nationality, you can still connect and understand and root for them. And I think Minari of all of those films, I think it will stand the test of time, and I think it's a film that people years from now will be still talking about how personal and beautiful and moving that film was. And I think Nomadland will fall in the category of those films like The King's Speech and The Artist, so many other Best Picture winners that don't stand the test of time, and from years from now people will forget and will wish that other film would have won. So I think Nomadland will win, but it shouldn't. But those are my predictions. I'm hoping for some Minari love. Hope to see Carey Mulligan win because she's my favorite actress of all time. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and make yourself part of the conversation. Please stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, and let's enjoy the Oscars. And I will see you the next time.